Um, it's Kayla. I've somehow, unfortunately, been roped into.
You're the colour coordinator.
I am the colour coordinator. Okay. So this will be interesting. A lot of my knowledge is this goes into this bit. And I wonder if that sparks up if you touch.
I like it. So, just so you know, this window here on the side here is your chat.
Okay.
Chat walls.
Is the reason you've got the keyboard so I don't start fights in chat? But I like typing because I'm a keyboard warrior. What the fuck, man?
You should send a quick message to Brentos.
Oh yeah, because this is the fucking reason why we're doing this.
Yeah, we're streaming this for our
Yo.
Off my audio. I can see the little light flash. I assume that can hear.
Hang on. Let me just play it back on my phone. Let me just play it back on my phone.
Right,
yes. There we go. Let me just play it back on my phone.
Right,
yes. There we go.
Let me just
ta-da. Oh, look. Chat'll be fine.
Cool. We'll send it to Brentos. Hey, we got M. Hey, M. What's going on? Failed. What's going on, M? How are you? I don't know if you can hear me. Kayla is actually wearing the headphones. I do not have a headset. I am speaking through a little Razer headset.
You're coming up loud and clear because you yell.
I do yell. So, I don't know how to start this off. I assume... Yeah, cool. I assume we start off... We should go through the paths we have.
Hang on. I gotta send this to Brent, don't I?
Brent does.
Oh god, where's my Twitch app?
I needed this with my computer. I didn't build your computer. I just told you how to build your computer. I did like a cool Snapchat-y thing. So, starting off, we have a B550 gaming with Wi-Fi. The reason I went with a Phantom Gaming is for two reasons. One, it's one of the cheapest B550 yet. Two, it looks cool. Three, I really love S-Rock. They were the first ever manufacturer that had a full color BIOS you could use a mouse with. Since then, I've just kind of always trusted ASRock. So we didn't go with an X570 for this one. We went with the B550. Brentos this is his first actual like toy PC, and so he doesn't really need X570 or the that comes along with usual stuff that you get in your boxes. Some SATA cables. What is this? Oh, that's the antenna. Antenna for the Wi-Fi, of course. User manual. That's something that we should probably read. Yeah, shitty quality fucking Snapchat call. That's how you win. I/O shield. Pro tip: put the I/O shield on before you put the motherboard in the case. Screw. Who knows? Who cares? And our motherboard. Oh, there's the other antenna. And our motherboard itself. Now, whenever you're building a computer, first thing you want to do is pull your motherboard out of your case. Use your box, and you can comfortably place your motherboard. Some people like to put the anesthetic bag underneath it. This is my keyboard. Oh, hey! Hey, it's Kurt. Hey, Mr. Kurt, are you enjoying the computer that I built for you?
Oh my god, I forgot to message Courtney and Kurt. Sorry.
We got the computer building chat in here. This is the K95 Platinum. It's a really great addressable RGB. RGB, say IQ doesn't work. So it's always just on rainbow no matter what I do. Yeah, I have the matching mouse to it too. Also RGB, and the RGB syncs between when they sit next to each other. It kind of RGBs across them. It's really
Courtney, hello.
Taylor is actually wearing the microphone, so she's actually commentating what's happening. So then you just grab your motherboard out of your anti-static bag. This is always step one.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Because we're going to build on it. You don't want to build it in the case in case there's a short, break something.
Oh, so this is the piece that we could theoretically F in the A.
Yeah. What's really
Cool.
interesting, so wireless stuff with motherboards is scary. One of the things, a lot of like people on YouTube and stuff will wear a wireless microphone, and if you get too close to the motherboard while it's on with a wireless microphone, it can cause interference. It doesn't do any damage to them, but it does reduce your performance in benchmarks. Next up, go to Ryzen 3. Ooh, Ryzen 3. This is the 3300X. These are a good chip, fairly new. We went with the 3000 series for the same reason we went with the B450. It's amazing bang for the buck, but mostly it's about the dollar value. These 3000 series, they're for what you pay for. So you get a whole lot of performance. 4-core, hyper-threading, so 8 threads, 4.3 boost, which is huge. Like, that's better than anything that Intel made 4 years ago. What happens if you throw fridge magnets at it?
Let's find out. Oh, hi.
Hi, Mimi.
The cutest gatecrasher in the world.
Making
Come here.
an appearance.
No, not in the box. Please, not that box.
Not that box, that's the case box. Really should have brought a knife for this so that I can open it.
You've literally got scissors in front of you. What is wrong with you?
Everything is wrong with me.
Also, I'm trying to cut down on swearing so I don't get us immediately demonetized if Giles makes monetized.
If I ever do get monetized, which we will.
I said that.
So, one of the things that you get with processors I love is that most of the box that you get is designed to hold the fan. Because that's the chipset. So, one of the good things with Ryzen as well is these fans come pre-applied with thermals, so you don't need to have separate thermals. You'll get better thermals if you have your own thermal, but then you also need alcohol. So first step with a Ryzen is to open up the ARM. I don't know if that's super clear what I just did, but there's right here on the set. You grab your CPU up. Now, with Ryzen CPUs, I don't know if it'll show real on camera.
No, you've got it at the worst angle possible.
I do have a really bad angle. Ryzen CPUs, all the pins are actually on the bottom of the chip. This is all little gold pins.
Hand model.
Hand model. This is all little gold pins. If you bend one of these pins, it would take a better man than me to fix it. So you need to be really... The reason why I'm running a 3... Just quickly go through that. The reason why I'm running a 3 and not a 5 is that the 5 is a 6-core. So 12 threads, which is probably overkill for what Brent is doing, and it's overkill for the rest of the thing. I did a couple of boxes with the graphics card we're going, which is a AMD 5700 XT, which is one of my favorite graphics cards. And we actually don't bottleneck this chip at 100% graphics card usage. So because we're not going to bottleneck it there, we didn't need to go anywhere to fit within the budget. The budget of the build was $3,000, including monitor, keyboard, mouse, everything, all the peripherals, headset, everything. It is just gaming. There will be some streaming that Brent is going to do, which the 4 cores is not as good for as the 6 core. That being said, that 5700 XT is going to do the head. That 5700 XT is better than your 1660. So as long as you turn on graphics encoding while streaming, it should be okay. Cool. So with Ryzen, you've got a little gold jobbo. The Ryzen always lines up with the motherboard. So you just need to look at the top of the board. You'll see where the little gold jobbo goes. There's a little dot that makes it. This dot here.
That
The only side with it.
that no one can see.
Yeah,
but
no
there
one
is
can
a
see.
dot.
There is a little dot. My 5, because I have the same processors as you, Ryzen 3600, and I don't have any CPU streaming. My bottleneck is still my card. I'm on a 2080 Super. There's a little gold mark. Always goes with a little mark with a triangle. You'll see it. When you actually look at the chip, there's always a little triangle that marks it. This little step here is just got to be... When you place them in, should just slot in. No pressure, nothing you got to do. You shouldn't...
Can you tongue pop? Because that's the noise that it made. Yeah.
You grab this arm.
Courtney asked how much it cost.
All the parts in total cost just under
Hi.
$3,000, including monitor, keyboard, mouse, headset. Cool. When you pull this lever down, it's gonna feel a little tight to start with. That's okay. There shouldn't be like crazy pressure. You shouldn't be forcing it. You should be able to do it with... Will have some resistance because it's actually locking the CPU in place. One of the important things you want to do is not touch the top.
Oh, Jesus, why?
It's super important because you want to make good contact with your thermal paste. Which is our next step.
We should have brought paper towel up.
Should have, and somehow got isopropyl alcohol. So,
Iso what?
isopropyl,
Which is what?
just like rubbing alcohol.
Box.
So next up, your AMD fan, your stock fan, this is just the stock fan that comes, always go in the same direction. Next to these motherboards, they have put little barriers. I actually had some of these sitting on my desk earlier. It's on my computer.
At your desk earlier.
We only cleaned the desk like a minute ago just so that it was like half presentable for a stream. It's still like even that.
It's definitely 100% on par for sausage sangers, though.
Sausage sangers.
Get it? Because it's a Bunnings desk?
It is a Bunnings desk.
Oh, fuck, I'm funny.
You're really funny, actually. That's
Courtney, laugh with me.
Yeah, Courtney, you're obligated to laugh at Kayla's bad jokes because no one else is going to do it.
No, no one else will.
So you want to pull these little side posts out. You'll see these here. These little side posts. They actually sit here around the CPU die. He scared laughs at you.
Thank you, Courtney.
You want to be really careful. The base of this fan here, I don't know if it shows up very well on the camera, but you can see how it's a different color. That's actually a liquid.
That is no bad. No, just like, okay. No. No. You're never going to be a hand model at this rate.
I'm never going to be a hand model. Sorry. And you want to make sure that you don't like futz around with it to make contact. First time that you place it on the... The reason for that is that moving it around from here is going to smudge that thermal paste, and it's not going to make good contact. And the whole purpose of this device is to take heat off the CPU and away from the motherboard.
Mm-hmm.
Then, screw these in very lightly, only a few turns. Do it in a hexagonal pattern. You want to go bottom left, top right. Just until they make contact. Bottom right. And then again, top left. You don't want to screw them in too far, just like enough. Then once you've got them all in, then you can start tightening them. These are spring loaded, so they will take a fair amount of resistance. You'll get some deck flex actually, but nothing crazy. Just having a test bench. Just have a bench for stuff like this with a power supply and stuff on it, so that at this stage, I can make sure that it powers on everything. We're not going to be able to. Then we need to find the CPU. So let's find it. All motherboards are actually super clear. You just have to get in reads. Maybe super clearly labeled the correct.
If you're a blindy, you will not see this.
CPU fan is here. All the plugs that go into a motherboard only have one orientation that they'll go into. So in this case, it's this way. You'll see the orientation because they have a little tab on one side that slots into another piece. Just cable manage that under there a little bit. This is bad design, this layout. This fan clearly. But then the AMD logo wouldn't be facing up. Bad. You want the AMD logo.
Is this one of those pretty bit dumb kind of moments?
Yes. Next up, you want to do your M.2 drive if you have one. this computer does.
A what?
M.2 is a hard drive that's.
Okay.
They're a super fast version of SSD. What we have in your computer.
Oh, okay, cool. So it's like my porn drive.
Yeah, like your drive. No, it's more like your regular drive.
Oh, but faster?
But faster than your.
So it's like if my drives had babies.
Well, no, your other drive is just mechanical storage. So this is just ultra fast storage. I'm not good at opening stuff, okay?
You make everything look so fucking hard.
But they're also crazy tiny. Look at the thinness on this thing. You can barely see it on the camera. Just so tiny. And this is a terabyte. And storage just comes so fast. So your M.2 is here. Screw. Is that M.2?
Oh.
Put a little screw too. Then what you want to do is a little piece at the bottom. So again, I'll bring him up to the camera so you can see. He's not really in focus. One side has a little half moon. That's the side that doesn't count. So you want to just the M.2 slot. By being just M.2. Or another M.2 on the rear. Sometimes there's also an M.2 in the these boards. Sometimes there is. This one actually has two slots. One for an M.2 Wi-Fi and one. It's kind of cool. Didn't have the Wi-Fi in here. Second one, M.2 ones. Now always lift up like this. They're meant to do that.
Oh, like the little Wi-Fi card. Like how we did it yesterday. You put the little screw in and it stays down.
Exactly the same. That Wi-Fi is the same M.2. It's the same interface.
Oh.
The screw is really. So let's see how. I haven't seen Brent in the chat yet. We're all doing this for him.
Yeah, I know. He's rude. He's on Facebook now, though. I've sent him the link.
Super. Maybe he's just getting the whole family to watch it together.
ROOD, thank you.
So once it's in, the wrong over. A little.
I suggested doing it.
Cool. Next, super important, little Ryzen sticker that you get, slap it on the side of your case. We haven't unboxed the case. That is super important. It's pivotal, actually, to the whole process.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we're going to install our I/O shield onto the motherboard. This is completely optional, but it kind of just makes the front of the motherboard a super aesthetic boy.
Mm-hmm.
You're only going to have this one will actually, it's not the motherboard. It's okay. We'll do that. Next step is RAM. I'm going to fit your RAM to your board. And at this stage, I would normally install a graphics card and stress test. Actually, that's what we'll install the graphics card, rip out the power supply, and we'll test it, make sure it works, and then we'll install it all in the case before.
That sounds smart.
Yeah, because otherwise something might not work, and then you get to rip it all out of the case.
Like we did yesterday.
Like we did yesterday. Hey, they give you a little sticker too for the side of your case. Super important. They actually give you more FPS if you have stickers on your case.
You do need stickers for your case.
I do need stickers for my case, but at the moment my case actually doesn't have sides. It's just an open.
Also, you can't.
Yeah. So we went with the G-Skill Sniper X 3600 megahertz RAM. We got a 32 gig kit. So two 16 gigs. No, we went with 16 gig total. Two 8 gigs. RAM only fits in one way as well. We went with the Sniper X over the Corsair RAM, mostly for aesthetics. G-Skill make really good RAM as a general rule. They're not quite as renowned as
Did you pull the other end out?
not quite as renowned as Corsair for their RAM. So it doesn't come. They're not quite, as I was saying, they're not quite as renowned as Corsair for their RAM. They are still good. RAM also only has a certain number of slots it can go to. There's actually an orientation say on them. Should say which is like slot 1, which is slot 2, which is slot 3, which is slot 4. Kind of just guessing here. Look, we've got a quick installation guide. I like how it says quick, but this book is actually huge.
Oh, it comes with a disc.
It does
That's
come
nice.
with a disc. To install drivers, you'll never. So it does actually list it. So A1 and E1 are it's the side of the socket. I was completely wrong with where I was installing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
Off to a fantastic start.
This does. It's cool. I actually have to orientate our cooler this way. It's a shame. I liked it facing that direction. Let's flip our cooler around. Now this is one of the things that you don't want to do.
Why?
Because our paste is already super.
Oh, you've got to rip that whole thing. Oh.
It'll be okay though. Pens actually do have two orientations. I should have thought about this before I placed it, that the little logo cover our. Just everyone pretend like just forget. Don't worry about it.
Guess it's lucky you're pretty. Oh, Miso, no. Please not right now.
Oh, I want to give a shout out too, actually. All these computer parts, I got them from Sculptech. They cost me a lot. I buy my computer from. They are not in any way sponsoring me along those lines. Unless they want to, please, Sculptech. But I've been using them for computer parts for like. They're really good. I really like them. The prices are usually the cheapest. I would shop them against M-Wave, which is another great computer store in Australia. And I normally do. I normally compare their prices to M-Wave. Usually with shipping, Sculptech ends up cheaper. Just a handy part. All of these, everything that we're using today came off Sculptech. Actually, including the screwdrivers.
Including the screwdrivers.
Including the screwdrivers. Cool. So now CPU is in a different orientation so that our RAM will fit correctly.
That looks a little smarter.
I wonder if it still. I think it will. It's a tight squeeze though.
Is it because you've got big hands?
I do have.
Do you need small hands?
It's like it's right up against that cool. I really. I said what time to start the stream.
Can you tell him to just check his fucking phone?
That's so funny. I'm streaming this because my friend Brent asked me to. I hate this. I hate how this fits in here with this cooler. This is actually really bad. I don't know if you can see it from where I am on the. It doesn't quite fit this cooler. It does. It's kind of like it. But once it's in there, it's okay. Not like less than half. I like that. That's because it's got these really nice aesthetic way camouflage heads. Really cool. I like the camo. I like the camo a lot actually. Camo was one skill over Corsair. It's funny that stuff. You know, you can spend a little bit extra and get like RGB. RGB RAM used to be like a meme thing. It used to be like, oh, why would anyone ever have RGB RAM? Then like it became a thing. You see it all the time now. Oh, Ozpost just told me that stuff is coming.
That's interesting, isn't it?
That's really helpful. Thanks, Ozpost. I want to make sure that these are in the correct area. This design is odd. Now, the important thing when selecting a RAM is to buy fast RAM, especially on Ryzen. 3600 meg RAM is the sweet spot for Ryzen. Anything less than 3600 megabytes, you're not really just out of CPU. And you have to like overclock your CPU to catch up with it. Yeah, these look right. If it doesn't boot, we'll know why. So, our next step. And this is great. This is the bit that has me the most excited. This is a 5700 XT, which is AMD's top of the line card that is crazy expensive already. I've been wanting to use one of these for ages because their Linux drivers are really good. They're also PCIe Gen 4, which is great because this board is also PCIe Gen 4. Not that it really matters. PCIe speeds on graphics cards are not at all. PCIe Gen 4 exists basically to saturate your PCIe 4 is for storage at this stage. Even like Titan generation cards aren't going to saturate a PCIe Gen 4. Barely saturate. They won't even saturate a PCIe Gen 3.
I really want donuts.
I really want donuts. I've never met them in real life, but if ever I do meet them in real life, I want them to bring me donuts.
No, we gotta bring them donuts, man.
No, we gotta bring Mal's a donut and Intel donuts.
Yeah, makes sense. Also, thanks, Brent, for not reading my fucking messages. Well done.
Welcome, Brentos, to... This is wild.
Courtney, go get yourself some donuts.
Yeah,
do you
Courtney,
have a Krispy Kreme near you?
Send us photos of your donuts.
Or
That
like,
sounded way more sexual than it needed to be.
why do you have to make shit weird?
I wasn't making shit weird.
You're such a weirdo.
Courtney was the one who's making shit weird talking about fucking donuts. See, that was funny because it was me. This is gorgeous. This even smells nice. I'm really sad that you're not here, Brentos, because this graphics card fucking smells like Vic.
What do you mean it smells nice?
It does smell like it smells like Vic.
What do you mean it smells like victory? It smells like
Victory. Victory is the word she's looking for.
expensive plastic.
Because it is. It's graphics card. It's new graphics card smell.
Mixed with, I've been in storage for a while.
There's also like a quick setup. Thank you for purchasing an Asus graphics card. I'm not going to show this on stream. We will need this later for Mr. Brentos because you actually get a free game with this at the moment. You get Doom Eternal, which is sick because I actually don't own Doom Eternal. I love Doom. But like the nice guy I am, I'm not even going to claim the code and use it. We'll let Brent enjoy his new game.
Just because you're a nice guy doesn't mean I am.
Oh, Kayla might use it before it gets to you. Brent, if it comes to you and you can't claim your Doom Eternal, it's not my fault. This is actually gorgeous. I love the look of this card. I'm going to show this up to the camera as well. Really poor. This is just a true card. I love everything about this. The build is cool. It's just a cool, super cool card. It feels really nice, like the laser etching on it is good. So I want one of these. Mine is better. I still kind of want one of these. Just gonna sit him right in the PCIe slot to start off. Cover on you. Look at this. This is really clever. Asus slot every put a cover on that card. Don't get damaged.
I was wondering when you'd notice that.
That's cool as the age-old keep say it's mean is. This is cool as fuck. I really like this.
You want your antenna, mate?
We'll do the antennas after we do case because I'll have to go over the I/O shield anyway.
Can just go there.
To do a play test on my computer. Yeah, we're gonna benchmark your computer. That's one of the things we're gonna download Heaven out of it because we benchmarked Kayla's today, and we'll
And Kurt and Courtney's.
And Kurt and Courtney's. We actually benchmarked those. Kurt and Courtney in the on the desktop of your is a program Heaven benchmarks, and you can compare. I really like this. I like a lot of this. Cool. Next up is a power supply. There's nothing really interesting about a power supply. We went with an 80 plus bronze. I normally go with an 80 plus gold, but once again, kind of over. We're only going with a 450 watt. Build's not going to pull more power than that, and it's still got options to upgrade. I cut out what I was just saying. Kayla.
What?
Tell them that on their computer they have Heaven.
Oh, oi, Courtney, go boot up Kurt's PC and go look for the Heaven thing
It's a benchmark.
on the desktop.
We benchmarked Kayla's computer earlier today. It's a shame that it cuts in and out. It's probably because I'm talking at Kayla. I'm not actually wearing headphones or a microphone.
It's a real fucking shame.
And we're using Kayla's headset instead of my headset. Normally we use my headset, which I feel like it cuts out less. I think the gating on Kayla's
Just
headset is
like
pretty high.
plug in your headset and I'll like just mute when you're talking.
I don't want to wear I'm building.
Oh, diddums.
Diddums.
Fucking
Good for the
diddums.
fans, right?
It's really pretty, Courtney. You should watch.
Yeah, it's a really cool benchmarking tool. It uses DirectX 11, which is a little older. DirectX 12 is the current standard. It's a really great benchmark. It has the ability to truly crush many systems, like the ultra settings on it will crush even systems with how intense that render is. This is a standard power supply, non-modular, plenty of cables, good, high quality, not going to fail on you. Always buy a power supply from a brand you trust, and you're going to be fine. You know, you wanna buy a Gigabyte, an EVGA. We have a lot of cables here. We'll have to cable manage some of this in the case, but there's plenty of room in the case that we've chosen. So, it's bad. So this part is where you sanity test it. You want to make sure before you case, like I was saying before, just in case it cut out. You want to sanity test the computer. You want to make sure that at this stage everything works before you fit it in the case.
You know what you should do? Just put your fucking headset on.
You gotta be so rude about everything. I thought you weren't gonna swear on my stream.
I'm simply just bossy.
I don't even know if this will work. I wonder if this will accept your human.
I will, Brent. I will.
I just plugged in my headphones, but microphone won't accept 2 headphone inputs at one time. Taylor, can you be a gem?
No.
Powerboard?
Do you think I can reach the...
Yes.
Mizo can reach the power board, not I.
All we're gonna do is untangle some of these cables. test again. Yeah, now we can hear. Yay! Happy days. Sorry about that.
Yay. Oh, the bars go up. I can see that now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty. One update available in your system.
Luckily, Linux. Oh, so I just plugged in the power supply in. I didn't do anything while we were off stream. Just had a quick vet. And we plug in our extra power into our board while we. Usually they're on the same dongle. This is a weird layout for these.
I should have gone to get snacks while we were on a break. On a tasteful ad break. Definitely not because I ripped the power out by accident.
I have tasteful ad breaks, but actually not monetized.
We should have tasteful ad breaks so I can go get snacks.
We can't get tasteful
Fucking
ad breaks.
monetize this Twitch.
We only need like another 6 followers and we're
Redonkulous.
we named the cat after
Brendast.
Oh. Yes, we did.
Oh, can I flick the switch?
Not yet, we gotta plug in the monitor first.
Oh. I didn't say anything.
The cat sneezed.
Oh, the cat sneezed. Bless you, Mizo.
Put some power into this monitor. What about this in advance?
Maybe.
I actually have a monitor from Brentos as well, but I've never used it. I'd rather test it on a monitor that I know works. Even
Your face is kind of janky. Oh, I love that this is the monitor that we have to fiddle with.
Yeah.
But we chose to use for our PC build. Is thinking.
It is a thing. So this might not give us any display out. This might not be.
Oh. Oh, it wasn't colourful.
As well in colour.
When you need to stand up next, can I have my water, please?
Absolutely.
Thanks, Budge.
Badger? Yeah. Just have a quick side. DisplayPort, HDMI DisplayPort. Lots of DisplayPort.
That is a lovely view of the back of your head.
Is it?
Yeah. Got a very rounded scalp.
I do, actually. You can see my bald spot really well.
Oh, thank you for remembering my water. You want to order donuts while you're standing up?
Can you also not spill this water over?
Maybe.
I don't know which one is the tap.
I thought you already turned it on.
No, I just turned on the power.
Oh.
Actually, I don't have a spare power button. I might just have to the case to turn them on. The CPU is spinning. Power. Cool. Thanks, man. happy days.
Yay!
So, next step for us is to get the case out, put it in a case and put it together properly.
You're so good at this.
I feel good at this. How to do this?
Why don't you... You could come over here and I could hold the case and you could pull the box. Not aesthetically pleasing, but like... Don't know if we're actually here for aesthetically pleasing. You'd caught on something. Taking the box from me. Why are you like this?
I'm not. I was pulling the case. You were grabbing the box.
Yeah.
This is great strategy. Just grab the box.
I'm trying! Fuck you!
Meaners. Meaners.
Fucking take your box, peasant.
Peasant, you call me.
Peasant. You just broke the foam, bro. What'd the foam ever do to you?
Crossed me.
What?
It crossed me.
It crossed you.
It did cross me. More manuals with our case. Kayla's actually on a case hunt at the so we'll get her a review of this case. Let's unplug our power.
You want me to just take the power out of this? That's taking the power out, right?
So yes, but we don't need to unplug it from.
Oh, cool. We can just unplug that.
Just going to move this across to the side for the moment. Anti-static and magnetic dust filter on top of the case.
Miso! Can you please not eat foam?
It's a big glass case.
Can you please stop your daughter from eating foam?
No, I can't.
Alright. Stop eating foam. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, this is pretty nice. I like it.
I like that you've got the glassing on the side.
Yeah, so tempered glass side panel. Screw in as well, which is really interesting. I don't know how I feel about screw in side panels. But that's mostly because I take the side panels off everything I've ever. Let's get a look inside this case. It actually says tempered glass.
I'm more interested when you pull the... Oh, you know what you should do before... No, okay, we'll do that after. Yes. It will really get my jimmies off, if you know what I mean.
So this is kind of cool. There's a lot of cable management in the back, Jesus.
Maybe you can pull the... Pull it up and show everyone the inside.
So this is our case. I'm going to have to take the back panel as well anyway. See, this is sort of your motherboard plate here. And behind, this is your cable management space. And there's already quite a lot of cables here which manage your fans, your front mount USB, front mount audio. There's cabling for the rear fans. And there's a little compartment down the bottom for your power supply. Hide your... And it's a tempered glass front panel as well. I believe these are RGB. Pretty sure they're RGB. Little screws on the back here are thumb screws as well, which is rather because this is shit, and I cannot undo thumb screws by myself. Cool.
Missed that last bit.
It's got thumb screws on the back, but I can't unscrew thumbs because the wrists are broken. So then, that's the back with all your cable management. This is fairly nice. There's like plates on the back here. I'll see if you can see plates, so that when you don't have it something coming back. Don't like have just gaps. The power supply bay at the bottom here has a little cover in front of it, so you can hide all your excess cables from your power supply without them showing from the front. Because what you really want with a case like this is just nice cable management, so it looks.
I think you should just take my headset to explain this.
You're the comment.
Power supply, something, hiding of cables. Brent? Hiding of cables. I don't think that's a euphemism or code or anything, so I think you can hide excess power cables.
So then, we should have some case screws. We've got stand-offs. Case screws. Case screws.
You're so welcome, Brent. That's why I'm here, to commentate for the people who have no fucking idea what's happening. Oh. You sure you don't want donuts? Oh, so I can order donuts? Cool.
I'm a wee bit broke. What? Aha! Drive bay slide. The back here is kind of cool too. This little section here is to hide your hard drive so that they don't show on the front. I like it.
That's fancy. Hiding your drives seems fancy, but like...
We got some zip ties. We got a lot of screws.
Terrifying.
And some cable management.
Terrifying.
I don't feel like I need this. There's some adjustable posts in here too. So in case you've got a different size motherboard. Size motherboards within this. It's already built in. Missing one post in the A. The next step is just to make sure you got all your posts in. Posts are little things. That is where the porn drive goes.
You better share that with Haley.
Haley doesn't want to see that. Brent only looks.
Oh.
Love Mandingo.
Oh.
Mandingo's is fake.
Maybe it's... Oh, God.
So then, you just want to, once you do a test fit of them, you want to make sure, basically, there's posts everywhere there should be posts.
Maybe speak up a little bit.
You want to make sure that there's motherboard posts everywhere there needs to be a motherboard post. This one we're missing 3 motherboard posts. Back on here.
Oh, no.
It's the owner.
They're sold out of donuts.
How do they sell out of donuts? Aren't they a shop?
They are a donut. Well, technically they're a pie shop.
What we're doing here is just putting extra posts in. Nothing you're missing out that you can't see here. Hole in the center. Okay. Let's have a look. Post.
So what ones are the posts?
They're little bits. Looks like I'm missing one. Missing one. That your motherboard sits on.
Oh.
That's okay. This one here. So, inside your case, it's actually listed A/MA. A stands for ATX, MA stands for ATX, or micro ATX. This case has an A and then an 1. Take out the MA. That here are actually next to each other. We don't support that.
I feel like I've never felt this kind of disappointment at not having donuts before. How dare the donut shop be out of donuts?
Check again and make sure this liner. Happy days. So then the final step, IO shield. Start screwing him. You want to do the test fits first. Then you want to fit. And you should be able to your IO shield from the outside of the case. That's how you know it's there. And you just place it in the right place. It doesn't like lock in or anything particularly special. It just sits where it needs to go, and then it will click onto the motherboard when you place the motherboard, basically. I actually think you can attach these to the motherboard instead of trying. Each manufacturer stuff is slightly different. This doesn't look like it pops. It may have to attach to the motherboard. There is a manual we can learn this stuff.
Good job. Super proud of you. Okay, how do you feel about hot fudge sundaes instead?
I think I had issues with this the last time we did a Gigabit too. This man. CP.
Okay, but what flavor sundae do you want? Hot fudge?
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't need.
Oh.
So sad.
God damn.
Install this. It's straight to CPU. So we just.
No, apple pies are just scum. Hot fudge sundaes, man.
Oh, no. Maybe it genuinely does go on the side first. There is a cable in my way just here, which I'm really not appreciative of.
Oh. That looks annoying.
Yeah, it's like a fan cable just sitting here on the IO. No way to. Need to move this motherboard out.
No, I will not take that back, Brent. Fight me, you little bitch.
IO shield in.
Oh, the buttons look real fancy. Oh, they feel really nice.
They're not buttons. They're just covers.
Oh. That's depressing. I take that back. They don't feel nice. They're just...
IO shield in. IO shield doesn't super flush with this PC though. It's a shame. Some case screws. Kayla, why are you starting a fight with me?
Because he's wrong. I'm technically...
Apple pies are fucking great.
I'm educating the children, thank you. Yes, I am.
You're teaching them.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Apple pies are great.
Mm-mm. Yeah, for the sad and the homeless. Maybe it holds into place better once you pop your board in properly.
Now, when you pop the board in, the board doesn't go in because of where this is sitting. This
Oh,
IO shield doesn't fit really well.
it looks like it's supposed to come in from the outside by the looks of it, not the inside. Just because the little thing. Oh. Oh, no, I was looking at it funny. Wrong angle.
It's glass on this side of the case.
Oh no, right angle. See? Please.
So when sitting on your computer, it'll be facing to...
Oh no, you were putting it in and then pushing it forward, weren't you? I'm just an idiot. Don't mind me.
This IO shield just doesn't win. And it doesn't do anything, it's just purely aesthetic. Since I'm building a computer for someone else, we should make it aesthetic.
Would little hands help? Is it too big or too little?
It's just slightly too big.
Oh.
It's meant to click. Or click inside him. Just pull this motherboard out. Touch it. Shield it. But it should just pop straight in. Like, second kind of job. It's not. But IO vessel, and so some cases they just don't fit right in. And it's probably the case. But quite, because it's only off by less than. Alright, sorry Brent. No IO shield. I really like the raspberry custard one. So we're not going with your IO shield, Brent, because it doesn't fit your case. You will lose no performance over not ever notice that you don't.
No IO shield because it doesn't fit. Just like, I don't know, shave it down or some shit when you get it, man. Not like with a sander, but like maybe by hand.
I like this too because there's this grill here. You can see inside the case while I'm. The same as with the fan. All you want to do is kind of go hexagonal, tighten them, start with. So that's not the right screw. Kind of like. Oh no, there it is. So motherboard screws always have like a little. The way motherboard PCBs are designed is so that no traces go anywhere near. That even if you slip, you don't scratch anything. But try your best, obviously, to not slip. You can slip pretty. I don't like how these screws are all on. If they can afford a few small ones.
What screws are you looking for?
Motherboard screws.
Okay. Point out one and I can find the rest.
Motherboard screw. See this little lip around the edge of the screw?
Yep. It's like the little ones from yesterday.
Yep. It's literally just an aesthetic piece. So if you look here, yeah. See, it's open. The IO shield goes over that, like that. Just exposed to the world. That's it. That's all it does. But unfortunately, this gap here is slightly too small for this IO shield, so it just doesn't quite fit in.
How many screws do you need, love? I found 3.
These are so. I blame the cat.
Don't blame the cat. That was you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
This is why we can't have nice things.
These are okay.
You can't blame the cat for everything. No, you can't. Because she didn't do it. No, she isn't. She's not even in eyesight. No, she's not. She's right there.
Said it again.
Not even slightly. So thank you for repeating yourself.
So I need 2, 3, 4 more. And once again, we just do this in sort of like a diagonal pattern, and we don't screw them all the way in.
Why?
If you screw them all the way in, then you might be able to screw all the rest of them in. And if you find that they lined up when you put it down to start with, and now they don't line up, just back off a couple of screws. That'll probably be why.
Little hands strike again. Fuck yeah.
My table. This photo.
Doesn't it? It's a lie.
It is a lie. Together review Celebrity.
No, Giles, we've been over this already this week.
You should watch Celebrity.
Why should I watch Celebrity Deathmatch?
Then you know.
No. Sounds horrible. It's the equivalent of you trying to sit through Keeping Up the Kardashians with me.
You don't like Celebrity Deathmatch?
Probably won't.
There's an episode where both get into giant mech wars and then each other to.
What the actual fuck?
It's Meatloaf versus Corn. It's Battle of the Fists. But it's actually Meatloaf and it's not fair because it's Corn is 5 and Meatloaf is 2. So they decide to make it fair. They both. It makes sense, really. How do you make a 5v1 fight? Fair. Both mech warriors. And then, like Voltron, each member of Horn has to pilot part of the mech warrior independently.
I've got no words for you. I just have none.
So then the next step here is we're gonna plug that power supply for me. You literally just give him a classic jam. I wonder if this is gonna. Aren't you know? It doesn't go in through the side. I didn't. Go in. Must be a way to take off this side panel casing. So take off this. Unless we come in from the back. Like a clever boy.
You could, yeah, go through that way.
Like a clever boy.
Just.
So, you want to check your orientation. This case is good. It's got a filter on the bottom and top, so you can actually power supply in either way. Since this writing is this way, is it always going to be upside down? Yes. This is the exhaust though. This is in left. So we're going to go this way. Yep. Holes line.
Like a glove.
Some screws, please.
Have the driver of the screws. What kind of screws
How do I?
have the back?
Guessing. These screws would be my guess for power supply.
I just bullied Vern into watching your stream.
Did you?
Because he wants to watch you build a PC like Henry Cavill.
Hi, Vern. I am Henry.
You are Vern's Henry Cavill.
He's in Henry Cavill.
He's not on yet. You'll know when he's on. Yeah.
Got these fat boys that I don't actually think it's a fat boy. Be a skinny boy.
Could be a little boy. There's like normal little ones that aren't motherboard screws.
Yeah, it's this little boy.
So I was right. Was I right? Yeah.
No.
Ah. AIDS.
It's these like circular. Once again, with everything, see built. So that everything sort of seats into place correctly. Because otherwise you get the final screw and it won't. It's always kind of annoying to sometimes it is inevitable. Honest. If you can help it. This is just holding our power supply in place. Too exciting, really. Unable to try to turn itself off. Not for you guys, not for you.
Not today, Satan.
Satan.
Cool.
So we've got a bunch of cables in here now. So there's a few of these that we're going to power. There's one. This cable.
Is that for SATA stuff?
Pardon?
SATA?
No, we do have SATA power here too. There's SATA power.
Oh, there it is.
SATA power on the plus side just goes in the back here from when you've got an external drive.
Oh, that is really helpful.
Yep. And main motherboard. And that should be all. This gets power off the motherboard. We have fan connectors too, which are these.
For these front boys.
Yeah.
Plug them in. Plug them in.
SATA power. So we do need SATA power.
Hi, Finn.
Hey, Vern. Feel like you're him. So,
You should be shirtless like Henry Cavill.
what's that?
Give the people what they want.
It says SATA. Oh, that's great. I like it.
Oh, you lie like a pig in mud, Fern. You would screenshot it.
So then it's fine. So we might.
You want a hand? No.
Side.
No, Fern. You wouldn't. Let's not lie. Nah, man. It's, his mate Brent's. Bogan Brentos, as seen above. This is his new rig.
We should have a separate 12.
I will link you the case that I'm looking at then, and you can just cry and tell me I'm a fucking idiot. I can't get up at the moment, mate, but like, that dark room over there, that's your room. For when you and Mish, like, come to visit. And then that cupboard with, like, the door partially open, that's where all the linen lives. To, the right of that is the loo. And then to the left is the bathroom. That's where the bathtub is. It's awesome. And then just behind here is the other spare room for the computer pieces. Did you really get the Leon Lee? Oh my gosh, hang on, let me look at this.
ACO 11 dynamic. One of my favorite kits is the
Let me Google it so I know what it looks like. We have old Leonleys at the moment. The cats are running around. Miso Soup is like just behind the table here trying to beat the shit out of her sister, who is over there somewhere. Let me look at your case. Oh, that's a pretty case. What color did you get it in?
Sits in here.
Hmm? What was the case that I left, love? Was it a thermal take? I'm pretty sure it was a thermal take.
We have a lot of kinks back here. So let's start somewhere.
Maybe it was Scorp Tech that I found it on. Oh, there it is. I found it. I just don't know what it's called.
This is a
It's got a cap on the end.
it's two.
No, cap. Cap?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
cap.
Switch. There's a lot. It's like all these fans come the same way. So in my case, but I've never unboxed this case before, so I don't actually know what cable runs are meant to be on it. I'm gonna unplug so far. And actually, look at how this is meant to be. It's not going to be aesthetic. It's cable.
Aesthetic. Maybe it was an Asus. I remember it was expensive. That's the only thing I remember. Maybe it was M-Wave. I'm still looking for this case phone. It's on my computer, but I can't like crawl over to my computer right now. Oh my gosh, it was a Cooler Master, wasn't it? I'm positive Cooler Master was the brand. It was Cooler Master. So then I'm looking at a Cooler Master Cosmos. So I'm gonna send it to you now.
So, run our cables now. Step 1 is plugging them in the correct direction. There's actual addressable. This case has its own RGB back. So you can't see it from this angle, but have one missing. That will line up with the pins, so that there is only one orientation, one location. Hey!
Oh, that was the weird noise. Oh, well done, Vern.
Thanks. Get closer and closer to our goal of 50 time. Once we get to 50, I can get demonetized for real. It's exciting.
I'm so excited to get it demonetized.
I'm not. I worked so hard to get rid.
I'll try.
The fucking headphone.
No, I like your original, Brent. Vile out the fucking headphones on.
Too vile, huh? Kayla's meditating, so honestly.
How the fuck am I supposed to commentate when I can't see anything? Ask what? For you to turn the PC? What are you doing, Giles? Fucking good job.
It's funnier than it had any right to be.
Fuck off.
At the moment, I'm just trying to figure out what everything is. I'm trying to work on this board. So, we're looking at this fan without a case fan.
I'm not too sure then. If we can get people together, we can do it. I can try and get my mage, like, level to, level 50 tomorrow, and I can take my mage instead. Power cable, Kayla. Did it not go? Oh. We could even do like a normal run burn. Because normal's pretty, like it's not as steep as mythic or heroic even. If we do normal Nihilotha, we don't get locked out for heroic, do we? We only get locked out for normal. Cool. Oh, it's turned on. I see the fan moving.
Excellent. So. I am definitely not sure. I have got.
Oh my gosh, we do have Ghost. I'm such an idiot. Sorry, Vern, we're not raiding tomorrow.
HT.
I know. We've got to move our Geist night back to Friday, I think. Because, like, Wednesdays are usually our raid nights. I think we should be good after this week. I think it goes back to Friday for next week. Why don't we try for Thursday instead, Ven?
Have you? But I do have USB. Need the old flashlight. Can't read the writing.
Ah!
Got it. Never overestimate the value of the torch, especially the fire.
Torch.
This side is not super well. It's like a. So. Let's see if this. Fans have their own like little module here on the back. These front fans. See the little module just here. This little.
Thermal take.
Yeah, and that kind of controls all the fan base.
You do not know how they turn on or off. The mystery continues. Ow! Come here. Mimi. Mizo. I now have a furry co-commentator who is highly interested in the fan.
He's from fan.
Got a
That's
handy
how they
dandy
get
manual. Did we not plug something in? That would be a thing. Oh! They light up!
They do.
It's a lot more blue than what it looks like on camera. It looks a lot prettier, Brent.
It is very.
If I was green, I would die. Get it?
To be. There's this for. Yeah.
Ooh! Okay, that's white. Purple's pretty. I like the purple. Ooh, the red's nice. Yellow's nice. That's, oh, green's lovely. That's really cool. I like that.
Actually plug to any switch you want. So at the moment, plug to the reset switch. So when you click reset, it changes the color. Now, this little things are they to make sure it's turn off. We disconnect them again from power. Move the from the top socket. Socket.
That's where hard drives go?
This is where graphics cards go.
Oh, graphics cards go.
Drives go so that you don't have to.
Oh. Look, furry co-commentator. She's looking. She really doesn't give a fuck. Little high.
This is such a... It's not the same size. Side shield, which I was hoping to...
No bueno, side shieldo. Por favor. I'm going to assume that's Spanish.
You are bad at Spanish.
Oh. C.
I don't mind this case at all, actually.
It's really pretty. I still want a Cosmos.
Just have expensive case.
I thought that was part of my loving charm that you love so much. Ooh, I heard the click.
Yeah. So...
Don't you slip the back in?
Soupy.
I need to wipe her eye tonight.
Screw back in. Yeah. And by screwing, I mean just drop stuff. That'll... You need to screw in your graphics card because it gives it stability. These are really heavy things, and that whole is that CIE socket. Once you screw these in, though, they support as the youth call it Gucci.
For you.
Cool. I assume Gucci.
Does
Like
that little
Gucci.
bit on the side go inside?
Hands are too big for this stuff. I hate it.
Would you like a hand?
Smaller hands. To make that. That'd be great.
I have 2 small hands and 4 small paws. What would you like?
I don't know. It's better.
None. Okay. Why are you biting
Just
me all
drop
of a
stuff.
sudden? Oh!
Hey!
I have no idea who that is, but hello and welcome.
I don't know who that is either. But hello and welcome to stream together
With your big hands.
with my way too big hand. The only reason we're doing it at the moment is asked me to build,
And stream it.
and then they asked me to stream it. So here we are. I normally stream World of Warcraft. A ever shit. But if people like these computer streams, they just have to send me my stuff.
I meant, you know how, see that? I thought that poked behind and then you had that on the side. So then you untwist him and then you twist him through both those little holes there.
Yeah, sounds.
I just didn't know how to vocalize that. Hello, Mr.
Linux. What specification? So this is a Ryzen 700T, which is actually one of the best Linux cards you can buy. Thanks to a source. My personal rig, I don't know, 80 Super, which is why I use Pop OS as my daily driver, because the OS NVIDIA support is This is for a friend of mine. I highly doubt that he Linux. I would love to run Linux. It's his first PC build, so he will probably Windows. In fact, Windows is what I'm going to install for him. Which is a shame. It's probably run better. I'm a big fan of Pop. Do you use Linux yourself, Whiskey?
Don't get those shits with me.
I should put on my headphones. They have HDMI.
You want a HDMI cable, you said?
Yeah, there's one plugged in the back of this monitor. Thank you. Yeah, normally I wear the headphones while I do the stream, but at the moment we've only got one set, and my partner was wearing them. Can you just? You got
Oh, you did switch on. Explain.
There you go. That should be better for you guys being able to hear me at the very least. You know why this doesn't boot? Very simple reason why this hasn't booted. It's not plugged in. There's no power going to the graphics card. So let's just supply this graphics card with a touch of power. Just to go out again for the specifications in case it broke. We're using a Ryzen 3 3300X, and we're using a AMD 5700 XT, which is pretty much the best Linux-capable gaming card you can buy, thanks in no small part to the open source Mesa drivers. But I was saying before, I actually run a NVIDIA card in my system, which is why I use Pop! OS. Because the NVIDIA drivers in Pop! OS are great. They have some instability now and again. I do get weird things happen all the time with that NVIDIA card that I wouldn't have happen if I was on an AMD card, just by virtue of the drivers. But the proprietary drivers from NVIDIA are better than they've ever been. They're pretty solid. Nikoriski, do you run Linux yourself? If so, what do you run? What's the configuration of your build? People have been saying all stream that my voice has been breaking up. I actually 100% blame Kayla. Alright, now we have some power. Happy days. So, let's see if it lights up. We've got lights on this tough card. We've got power. And spinny spinny. I love spinny spinny. Spinny spinny is my favorite, actually. But no display.
Oh.
Good display? Hey! Post and display. I like it. So that's the majority of it done. What we've kind of got to do now is prettify the inside. You know, the cable management that I've done so far ain't great, but we can work on that. It's interesting that this fan isn't RGB. I thought this fan would have been RGB on the back here.
No, but you can place it's got screws out and make.
I do like the changeable colors on the front. I don't know if they show it really well on stream, but it's got a glass panel here on the front. Grantos says you don't think apple pies are the shit, Kayla, and he's right.
Brent, you're just fucking wrong.
She said, I know, Brent, and I'm a bad person, and I truly wish that I liked apple pies,
Get
but
in the Discord now.
I have a terrible, terrible, terrible sense of taste. It was her words exactly, actually. She even started with, "Hi, my name is Kayla, and I fucking love apple pies." That's what she said. That was her words, not mine. Her words. Cool. So we have post, we have boot. I have a USB with Arch Linux here. There's some Arch Linux, but we're gonna get an identical USB to that, but with Windows on it. No, I did. This might be the one with Windows. It's got Arch.
Yeah.
Suppose we'll find out in a second.
Yeah, we will.
Let's see if we boot into Arch Linux here, or if we boot into Windows. Little dust filter. If we do boot into Arch, I actually don't have a keyboard. AS rock, look at this. Gorgeous. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me reorganize a little bit. There you go. We'll just quickly plug in a keyboard. Hey, that is the Windows USB. I thought I hadn't put the Windows one on my desk. I'm not as retarded as everybody thinks. You think it's pretty? That's good. I like it. Setup is starting. Going into Windows. It is a shame we're not installing Linux. Brentos, are you sure that you don't want Linux? So the trick with Windows, it's great. The trick with Windows is easy. When it asks for your product key, just say, "I don't have one," and then just like move on with your life. Drive 0, look at that. Not even partitioned. So good. You guys can't really see the screen at all, can you? Let's give him a zoomy boy. Just a quick zoomy boy.
Files ready.
Getting files ready, and then we can probably just, while it does that, look at that. From the side, it's nice. I like the camo effect you've got with your RAM, your graphics card. It looks cool. I kind of want to do the peel on the front so we can have a look through the front. There's a lot of options for these fans too. I really like it. Yeah, do a cool spin. We're going to have to cable manage and stuff anyway, so. This part of the video is fairly boring. We're just installing Windows. It's very straightforward. Installing everything is easy, except Arch. Arch is an afternoon sport. It's a good afternoon sport if you've got a few hours and you've never installed Arch Linux before. The difference is quite numerous between the two. For you, honestly, I'm going to recommend Windows. All you're going to use this computer for is gaming. And while Linux gaming is good and is much better than it has been in the past, it's still one of those things where I can't really recommend it to people who aren't super tech savvy. Linux really is just for nerds, as much as I don't want it to be. Show us the front. Get my phone out of the way. We'll do a nice little slide for you. The front's got some peel on it at the moment, so that's the front. We do have to peel this little piece off, but should we do it? Do it for Brent? Do it for Brent.
Slow and sexy though.
Peelin', feelin'.
I'll make it green.
It's just going through a phase. Good call. This has an addressable RGB header on it too. So one of the things that we could do is connect this to the addressable RGB header. I think we actually already have. I may have already connected it. I think I did. So we can install the ASRock RGB software, which is called Polychrome. And then we may be able to control the RGB from the desktop. But for the moment, you've got a physical switch. So you can change it out. I kind of like the green, honestly. Green is a great color for cases. Green and purple. I've always liked it. 91% through the files. Happy days. I really like this front. What do you think, Kayla? Now that we've done the peel.
It's quite pretty.
You like it? I like it too. Some extra cable management. There's an extra fan header on this card too, which is interesting. There's 3 in the front. There's actually room for 4 fans on this fan header. I wonder if that means that this rear one is meant to be RGB. Don't actually know the answer to that. I suppose we'll find out. Windows needs to restart to continue. Of course it does. One of the things I'll do for you as well is we'll run a debloat utility. I actually did it. We had 2 people in chat earlier, Kurt and Courtney, and Kayla, and we debloated all of their computers. You can run a utility called Windows 10 Debloater, and it removes all of the basically spyware that Windows puts on your computer from the get-go. Things like Cortana, the Windows Store. It's really funny. Windows comes pre-installed with Farmville, and there is no way to remove it. But Farmville doesn't work anymore, so you actually have to just have hard drive space dedicated to a game that doesn't run or play. And Windows has no way to get it off your system without using a third-party utility like Windows Debloater. It's really wild. But we have officially removed Farmville from Kayla's computer. Yeah, desktop controls is cool. What you normally end up with, and it kind of sucks, is you end up with a few different RGB controllers in one place. So you'll end up with one for your keyboard and mouse. You'll end up with one for your case fans, and that's why a lot of people run all the same brand across everything. They might run a Corsair case and a Corsair RAM and a Corsair keyboard and a Corsair mouse and a Corsair headset, so that their RGB is all one majigger, one thing. But at the end of the day, you'll be able to control it from your desktop, and that's all that sort of matters. So Windows is doing its thing now. It's booting and rebooting. Windows always sort of does that. Just a moment, it says now on our screen. I don't know if I can get that into focus. I probably can't because it's emitting light, but it's the standard Windows screen of blue. Let's start with region. Is this right? No, it's not. It always wants to think I'm in the United States, center of everything. But not actually. I'm giving it away on stream. This is the exclusive, if you couldn't tell from the accent, that we are actually in Australia. Let's have a casual vape. Yep, that's the keyboard layout. No, I don't want to add another keyboard.
Dracula did nothing wrong.
Dracula did nothing wrong is also us.
I forget.
Yeah, GNU Force is the faster one. Should have changed them for the name of the stream. I think the password for both of them is the same. Honestly, I never have to connect to our Wi-Fi.
Oh, Haley just messaged me. Brent's phone died. He's gonna his laptop now. Watch.
Oh. Poor Brent. Is Haley watching it with him?
Yeah.
That's so cute. They're adorable.
I think so.
They're a great couple. Shout out to Haley. She's a great girlfriend for letting Mr. Brentos buy a computer. Kayla's also great. She lets me buy computers a lot. Actually, way more than she should. But that's fine. I still love her.
Oh, we're up next year.
Can we install Linux on your computer for the love of God?
No.
Okay, fine. I'll still be the only Linux user in the whole country. Actually, it's not true. If you jump onto Mastodon, the oz.social section of Mastodon has a huge Linux community. It's actually crazy. We'll set up for personal use. Little drink from the water bottle. I don't have an lttstore.com one, so I can't spruce that. It really wants you to like sign up for like an online Microsoft account and use all the online features, but honestly, all those online features really do is track you. Create a super memorable password. I'm not going to read this one out on stream.
Good, thank
You guys can probably hear the keyboard go, but just because you know how many characters it is doesn't mean you know what the words are. Even that doesn't match. Did I type it wrong?
you typed it wrong.
There we go. Let's have some security questions, shall we? Quickly rotate the monitor, you know, for privacy and all that jazz. I'll tell you what these security questions are later, Mr. Brent, and I'll tell you what the password is. So then you get into Windows. Yay, Windows. All we're gonna do here is turn literally everything off. It'll try and make you feel bad. It'll try and be like, you're not gonna get the best experience out of Windows. You will. Just turn it all off. If you have a computer and you're running Windows, turn quite literally everything off. Here it is. Do you want device activity? No, don't send anything to Microsoft. You should own your operating system and not have your operating system own you. Let Cortana get things done? No. And then we get, finally, to the hello screen. So from here, it'll load into Windows, and we'll get a desktop after a couple of minutes. While it does that, I might start cable managing. There's not a lot I can do without unplugging stuff, but I can at least start planning how I'm going to hide a lot of this stuff. A lot of this stuff can be hidden down the bottom here, under this little power supply here.
So, just quick tangent. Haley wants to order a Microsoft pineapple. I think that's.
Yeah, Haley should order those for us. Thanks, Haley. I agree. Haley should 100% get me those things. Thank you, Haley, for your patronage. So this we'll be able to hide behind here without really any issue. From the front perspective, I've still got to connect in these two little lights, but I actually don't know where on this socket they connect to. Power plus, power minus. I don't really mind not having these cables. These are little lights up here for is your hard drive on? But you don't have a hard drive, so it's not actually going to do anything if we have it plugged in. So let's hide that for aesthetic reasons. Now, these cables back here, I don't like this. I wish there was a nicer way to manage this. Maybe we can kind of pull it down and zip tie it like that. What do you reckon? Zip tie it that way? That probably looks a bit more aesthetic than having it sort of hang out. And then this cable, I don't really know what to do with. It's kind of stretched as far as it'll go where it's sitting. Can I get any more slack? No. Okay. I've got no extra slack. That's kind of all the slack that I've got.
Yeah, over the top of
This way?
Yeah, you're not going to put anything up, are you?
No, I'm not going to hit anything. I just don't like how it looks.
And Brent's officially back. Welcome back, Brent.
Welcome back, Brent. We didn't do anything without you. I'm just figuring out how the cable management's going to go. Windows is installed. It did that by itself. We have quite a bit of warmth coming off this card. It's hotter than I want it to be for booting an idle. That could be true.
Trying to work its shit out.
Let's install the drivers anyway, straight away. Let's do that before we change our web browser. AMD Radeon drivers. Could just be that installing Windows is a pretty beefy activity. I just have to use Internet Explorer and Bing. God, I hate it. The first 2, 3, 4 results on Bing are viruses. That's why you should never use Bing. I very clearly wrote AMD Radeon drivers, and the first 4 results that I got, viruses. What the fuck, Bing? This is why no one uses you. Use Google or use DuckDuckGo.
Brent, I want chips.
Okay, go get chips. Okay. Thank you, Brent, to your partner, Haley. She has made my partner hungry. I love it. Kayla says that Haley deserves donuts and hot chocolate. This is quite warm. I feel like it shouldn't be this warm. Let's, there's a lot of cold air coming through though, so it's not too bad. These fans are not sucking anywhere near hard enough, which is probably why this is as warm as it is. We really want these fans ramped up quite a bit faster than they are. This network is a little slow. I'm going to actually steal this network cable. Ah! Just throw the camera to the ground. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm just stealing your network cable, love. You can still get past that, yeah? So let's move this computer a little bit so you guys can see the screen, see what's happening a bit more. You can see the cat sleeping on the beanbag.
Kitty TV.
It's only $100 from Gumtree, don't worry about it. I don't remember how much that camera was.
200.
200, yeah. I don't want this card to be anywhere near this warm. And I want this cable out of my way. I just feel like this cable's in a really shit spot. So Radeon drivers first, super important. Windows stock drivers are normally garbage and don't normally have any sort of fan control. Once we've got Radeon drivers installed, we'll swap out of this, we'll boot back into BIOS, and then we'll start tweaking the BIOS. I can't read from this far away, what's it say? Yeah, we can up the fan speed. That's great, Haley. Yeah, we can up the fan speed, but we need this software to do it that we're downloading now. And then once we're in the BIOS, we'll start adjusting the settings. Like, it's not so warm that I'm worried about it. It just is warm. For a computer that's idling, it just feels warm. I wonder if I can see it from within here. What's our memory clock to? Our memory is pretty slow as well because it's only, we haven't overclocked the memory yet, so we'll have to overclock the memory. CPU is going good. I like it. Nothing crazy happening that I can see. Good. You just can't track the GPU from Task Manager. It's kind of garbage, honestly. This is why we're plugged into Ethernet though, just so that this download doesn't take forever. That's where I can cable manage. I can actually run some of these cables from underneath, come up that way. That will look much better. Because at the moment, our cable runs are okay. Like, we've got a fairly clean look, but it's still not as perfect as I'd like it to be. Mizo. Me. No. Kitty, no. Thank you. She's always a bit like that. Cool. Don't allow AMD to connect usage. So we now restart. So we'll restart. Make sure that everything's running stable. That's our base sort of settings. Then once we know everything's running stable, we're going to start doing just a very mild overclock. We'll set the RAM to the correct speed by turning XMP on. And then after that, we'll install the AMD automatic overclock utility, which will overclock our CPU. And then it should also automatically overclock our graphics card with the Radeon software that we just got. This is kind of hard to see from this angle. Welcome to the Radeon experience. Thank you, buddy. Gaming. Cool. Performance. How are we doing? Okay, so our temperature's not that hot, really. Like 53 degrees is fine. It just feels hot, I guess. Maybe I've just got like little bitchy hands. That's probably what it is. It's not using any power. It's going good. Lots of graphs. I like the AMD give you lots of graphs. It also gives you like your other utilizations, which is nice. I accept. Cool. Tuning. So there's auto tuning, which is cool. I like this. And then there's advisors. So like once you're playing games, it can tell you like how the games and stuff are going, which is good. So we're just gonna restart this boy and go straight into the BIOS. You can look from the glamour side of the CPU now, of the PC. So from here, I saw it before, I'm pretty sure it was F11 or delete. So we want to go into the BIOS of the computer, because that's where things like XMP are going to be located. Ah, I missed it. I completely missed it. Oops. Rookie mistake, Giles. You just spam delete. You'll never have to do any of this stuff yourself, Brent, but for anyone watching, whenever you build a new computer, you want to go straight into your XMP profile. So this is the BIOS here. BIOS is cool. BIOS is a fun place in a computer. Get details via QR code, that's cool. So we can see everything is in there correctly except our RAM. That's because we have to up our RAM voltage. So we're loading an XMP profile, which is extreme memory profile. Nothing else we want to touch in here. You don't really want to touch anything else in the BIOS unless you really know what you're doing. Everything, temps all look good here. Yep. So, pull out our USB stick. And save changes. So now XMP is enabled, so our RAM is running at its correct speed. If you do not enable XMP, your RAM will run at the standard speed for DDR4, which is only 2100 megahertz, I think. 2133. It's slow. You really do need to enable XMP to get the most out of your RAM, and by extension, get the most out of your CPU. So monitor going to sleep. Boot. And we are live and into Windows. So once again, we're going to open up our Radeon software. And look, our CPU usage halved, more than halved. We were at 20% at idle, and now we're at 4% at idle, just from enabling XMP. Well, 0. 0 is obviously not right. but very, very low. RAM utilization also much lower. Tuning, streaming, it's got a whole bunch of different options, which is really cool. I really like this. Look at this, chat. That's cool. That's really cool. I like that a lot. AMD link. Graphics options, there's a whole bunch of stuff. I like it. So then, also while we're here, let's make sure that our RAM is correct. Performance, memory. 2133 megahertz is still too slow. Why? Why did you not take? Why did you not enable in the BIOS? Let's try that again. I wonder if we've got some instability. We shouldn't have instability for just enabling XMP. Why did you skip? Don't skip, that's not what I want. Windows has a fast boot thing. It always boots really, really quickly for some reason. Linux is the same, it boots really fast into it, but it gives you like a couple extra seconds on this BIOS screen. I can probably adjust it in the ASRock BIOS though, I'd say. It's still here. CPU frequency, XMP profile. Let's save that and get into it. I reckon it doesn't like XMP being enabled. Because it's not booting how I would expect it to boot. I wonder why. Got power to the keyboard now. Please wait. Why am I please waiting, ASRock? It looks like Windows didn't load correctly. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Alright, well. We'll restart. And we'll go back in. We'll change the settings. I had this same thing happen with another friend's computer that we were working on. Let's go auto. Why are they defaulting here? See here, DDR4 2133. But the XMP profile is very clearly 3600. Maybe the manual option for 3600 isn't right? Let's see if this boots. XMP is on now. We've loaded an XMP profile. Little spinny wheel. Okay, we're back here. Oh, whoop. Almost forgot the password that I myself set. $21.33, that's not right. That is not right at all. Not right at all. Where is this little AS rocket manual? Let's have a look. Okay, DIMMs only fit in a certain... Yeah. Interesting. It actually recommends using A2 and B2 instead. That could be our problem. So, let's turn them off. Should have read that first, realistically. It's always the answer, yeah. Read the manual. It'll tell you everything you want to know. So we're just going to turn off power. Pull out our RAM. And install it in the channels that it wants it installed in. And that should give us access to what we're hunting. Actually, I don't know the answer. Someone might know the answer if there is anyone sort of watching. Is the way RAM speed determined the same way that CPUs are binned? Like, do they try and make the best possible RAM and then bin it down based on where it actually ends up? Is RAM a silicon lottery like a CPU is? I don't actually know the answer. I assume so. But it's NAND flash, right? Is it NAND flash? Is that how RAM works? Who knows? I would assume, though, if the RAM was installed in the incorrect slots, that it wouldn't boot. But that's what it kind of just recommended to me then. A2... Is A2 and B2? Does it have our little RAM headers? This is not riveting TV for everyone, I'm afraid. While I read a manual. But it's not booting. So I'm guessing that I had the RAM configured the correct way initially, which doesn't help me at all. Because I can't tell why I can't put XMP on. I'm sure I saw it in here before the orientation of the... I'm sure I saw it in here. I just can't find the diagram for the... Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh no, that's for LED. I just want a little diagram of the motherboard, that's all I want. Here we go. Fig 5 and 6. Okay, I did have them in the correct orientation initially, I think. A1 and B1, A2 and B2. What does it say here? It says A2 and B2 for the faster RAM slots. It's very strange. Certainly very, very strange. It might be a glitch in the matrix. I would guess that it's A1 and B1. That's where the memory should go. Like, channels are normally named A1 and B1 because it's channel 1 is A, channel 2 is B, or like for dual channel memory. So I would imagine that it's meant to be A1 and B1, which is where I installed it originally, and it booted, and then I moved them, and it didn't boot. So that's my thought process. Pooty toot boot. No, you do not. Nobody wants that. Oh, she wants that. Twitch's terms of service don't want that. It's a decent beard though. Like, it's alright. It's not crazy. Okay, RAM is now in its correct place. Just turn you on, make sure you're plugged in everywhere that you need to be, power on. And now for some reason our graphics card's not turning on. Why is our graphics card not turning on? I didn't touch the graphics card. I didn't even slightly touch the graphics card. I really like these RGB fans. These are pretty cool. It's not overheating. It's not hot or anything. It's got the appropriate power coming to it. The lights are turning on. The fans aren't spinning. Why are the fans not? Why is this graphics card not turning on? Something's going funny in the Matrix, guys. Something very funny has happened. Very peculiar indeed. Well, here's what we did. We uninstalled the RAM. So let's re-uninstall the RAM. All the pins on the RAM are okay. Let's uninstall this RAM. All the pins on this RAM are okay as well. Good. That's a good start. Let's re-plug in the extra power that we had. And let's swap DIMMs. I can't imagine that's the cause, but you never know with RAM, you know. It can be finicky from time to time. It's in there. I saw today that Twitch now has Twitch Music, which is kind of cool, where like you'll be able to play music on stream. It's not, you don't get to pick what it is, of course. It's like a separate module. It's not Linux compatible yet, though. Chips and dip. I like chips and dip. Chips and dip are like among my favorite. I really like tortilla crisps, you know. Yeah, you'd be able to play music, but it's like a radio station almost. But like a Twitch radio station. It sounds wild. It sounds kind of cool, but it's Windows only at the moment. What is going on with this module? This RAM module is not slotting in correctly at all. If it fits in the bottom, it doesn't want to go on the top. There we go, just needed some elbow grease. Alright. Straight into BIOS. Sweet is. So we're in A1 and B1, so we're in the right places. Kayla, can you grab me just off the floor the Sniper X packet? No, it'll be that bit of cardboard on the floor there. That's what I was chasing. Definitely 3600 megahertz. It's actually Samsung memory. I love that. There's only a very few limited number of people that actually make RAM in the world. Everyone else is just kind of rebranding or repackaging it, so to speak. I'm not going to fuck around with DRM timing. That is more than I would trust myself to mess with. There doesn't seem to be a button for actually turning XMP on, so to speak. There's just an option to select an XMP profile. Just here. And I would imagine that loading an XMP setting, so this one, is what we want to do. But let's save changes and exit. Yes, let's see if it boots now. See if it boots with the right RAM timing. That's all we really want. Let's have a quick checkup to enabling XMP on the ASRock Phantom. Well, we're in. We haven't crashed. Let's have a look. We're still at 2133. Why? That's wild. Oh, I'll do some research. I'll figure out why it's not not allowing us to enable XMP. I actually don't know off the top of my head. Next step is heaven. Actually, next step is opening up Internet Explorer and using it for the one thing it is useful for. Downloading a different web browser. You want Chrome? Brave is based on Chrome. I was going to give you Brave. We can use Chrome. I personally, I prefer Opera, Brave, or Firefox over stock Chrome. The reason why is that the reason why is that Chrome, while being open source, doesn't have a huge feature set out of the gate. Opera is based on Chrome, but has like more features. Although we don't always trust Opera. And Brave is strange. Brave is like privacy focused. It's based on Chrome again, but what it does is it replaces every ad tracker. It just blacklists ad trackers straight away. So it just has this built-in amazing ad block. But we'll just add ad block to Chrome. It's not the end of the world. I just hate seeing ads online. And the way Brave goes about it is the more you use Brave, the more you get a currency, like a cryptocurrency, but it's called like Brave Coin or something. And then you can actually tip websites in it. No. Skip Earth, because it's cool. Set as default. Edge. Chrome. Done. No thank you. Cool. Heaven. A benchmark. And this will probably be the last thing we do tonight. Is download Heaven and bench the system. I'll download Brave after I've done Heaven. You always gotta benchmark your new systems. But with XMP not working, I wonder if it's just this. I don't think it's this though. I gotta do some more Googling. I'll do some Googling tonight and I'll figure out why XMP is not enabled. This is not the first time I've seen this where it just like won't enable XMP for some reason. Okay, I have to manually mess with timings, it looks like. That is fine. I can manually mess with the timings. There's a couple of people reporting instability with 3600 with the stock voltages and the stock timings. So what we'll do is we'll go in, we'll start tweaking it, and then we'll find out a timing that works so we can get you your RAM running as fast as humanly possible. I didn't think I was going to have to overclock this that hard, but I will. Once we run the benchmark though, it's basically a case of plugging the last few headers in, closing the case, and we're done installing some stuff. So Heaven is downloading very slowly. 16 seconds left. It is taking a really long time for a 248 gig file. Oh, let's put our little Wi-Fi jobbos on. Where's our little Wi-Fi jobbos? There's one.
I have an antenna.
Yeah, that's the other jobbo. I certainly try. Computers are one thing that I'm really good at. I remember when I was talking to Brad Hardcastle once, who used to be my old boss at one of my old works, and he said to me, Giles, why do you work in a dealership? Like, why don't you work with computers or programming? Like, you're really good with them. The simple answer is that I'm super passionate about computers. And if you are super passionate about something like computers, working in them becomes kind of horrible. You might lose your passion. When I started working with motorcycles, I wasn't too worried. I think I had the same conversation with Kelly the other day. When I started working with motorcycles, I wasn't worried about losing my passion with them, because I was only fairly new. I'll never really lose my passion for motorcycles, but I know working with them for a long time, it kind of gets under your skin, you know? I'm sure you're probably the same. Like, looking for parts for your bike in your spare time, you kind of like, it just feels like work, you know? I felt the same when buying a motorcycle. I felt like buying a motorcycle was work, and I hate that. Yay, we have heaven. Alright. Let's get out of this. Get out of this. Let's open heaven. Let's benchmark this bitch, shall we? Yeah. 100%. I'm sure you feel the same. Let's set this to making it hurt. And let's see how we go. I'm going to try and bench this at a stricter standard than what I benched Kayla's computer at. And then I'll bench it at the same standard we benched Kayla's computer. I want to see if it'll pass the benchmark. Oh, fuck yes. Straight out of the gate, it's fucking killing it. I don't know if you guys can see. This is a really gorgeous benchmark. Really, really pretty. It's just a really pretty benchmarking tool. This is called Heaven. It runs, I think it's 26 scenes back to back, and it basically just gives you a score about how well your computer did. But it is killing it. This is the maximum settings it'll go to. It's a bit higher than what we did for you. And right out of the gate, what are we at? 100 FPS. And I think it pushed you down to a minimum of, what, 30? And that was on a setting below this. So this is really solid. I haven't actually run Heaven on my computer. I really should boot up a Windows drive with Heaven on it and bench my computer with Heaven so that I have a metric for what yours is going to run against. Yeah, well, Heaven is grueling. Like, Kayla's computer will run everything on high with no dramas. But what this is doing at the moment, this is running at ultra, 16 times antistropic filtering. It is only running at the monitor's native resolution, so it's running at 1080p. But it's got like tessellation turned on and a whole bunch of other things turned on.
Oh, wow.
Does it look great? It's a really pretty benchmark. I like Heaven.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
Like it's very.
Really, really nice. It looks like it's doing a great job. So we've got the USB ports plugged in as well. So there's USB up the top. Looks like there's USB 2 and USB 3. Headphones, RGB button and power. I've got the headphones plugged in, so we should be able to put headphones in this. Heaven actually has sound as well, which is wild. This benchmark score is going really, really well. We're doing really good. I'm frankly very impressed. Especially for the i3, not the i3, for the Ryzen 3. I mean, I know I looked this up in advance and knew that the Ryzen 3 wasn't going to bottleneck this card, but I'm still impressed with how much PC you can build for not a ton of money, really. Like, there were a lot of places on this build where we could have like saved quite a bunch of money. You know, we could have downgraded our RAM to a slightly slower RAM, could have swapped out the NVMe for a regular SSD or mechanical storage, could have gone with a lesser known brand of power supply, could have gone with a cheaper case, without sacrificing too much performance. So this is fantastic. I'm really happy with that. Look at that, 176, 180 FPS. We just peaked at 200 FPS there in heaven. This is blowing me away. I'm really happy with this. I'm very happy with your build, Brentos. I just have to clean up your cables so that it doesn't look like garbage, but that's easy to do. Garbage. Yeah, it's proper mint. You're going to be very happy with this. You'll be able to run a lot of modern games on ultra settings. Do you use? I've used several, and every time I've used it, it messes Windows up totally. Sorry about the wall attacks. Hey, Project Natal. Yes, I do use Windows debloater. I use the Windows debloater directly off the creator's GitHub. It's a great tool. I did it on my partner here Kayla's PC today, as well as another PC that I built earlier in the morning. I put Windows debloater on, but the only place to get it from is the GitHub. If you get it from anywhere else other than the GitHub, you're probably not getting the right utility. And it's actually called Windows 10 debloater. Once this benchmark finishes, I'll actually show you where it is. We'll download it and we'll do it on this computer. All you really want Windows 10 debloater to do is remove some of the adware and some of the apps that you can't remove. Things like Farmville, Candy Crush Saga, Cortana, that sort of thing. We'll grab it after this benchmark is done. Yeah, no stress. Happy to help. It was one of the things on my list to do on this computer anyway. So I'm kind of glad that you reminded me. Because I said at the start that I would do it and then I forgot to do it because I got so excited about doing Heaven. As a Linux primary user, so most of my personal machine runs Linux. I hate the amount of bloatware that is in Windows. It truly hurts me in my soul. Yeah, it'll get rid of like Candy Crush Saga, Farmville, the casino slots game, whatever that thing is, Cortana, the Windows Store, all that stuff that you just don't want or will ever use. And it'll edit the registries so that it doesn't like freak out that it needs those. It's quite literally just to debloat, and then it'll stop a lot of the advertisement tracking. So you'll still get updates, you'll still get all of that stuff. You just won't have things like the ad tracking and that sort of thing. It doesn't make a noticeable difference in Heaven benchmarks though, because we did two computers. No, updates will not restore the built-in apps, and if they do, you just run the utility again just through PowerShell. It won't make a noticeable difference in your game performance though, because I have two identical systems here. One that we built today, and I Windows debloated one, and benched it, and then didn't Windows debloater one and we benched it, and their score was within 2 points of each other, which is within margin of error. So, and that's pretty standard of all debloaters. You just got to be careful, like especially Windows stuff. There is just so many viruses on Windows. You know, like KM Spyco, for example, which is a utility that unlocks Windows, so to speak. There is only one place to get KM Spyco from. If you download KM Spyco from anywhere else, you are effectively downloading a virus. Avast was fine. I used to use Avast when I was on Windows. You don't really need a virus scanner these days. Don't run code that you don't know or understand on your computer. Don't download things. Use a reputable firewall and install an add-on into your browser or download a browser that automatically blocks a bunch of trackers. And you shouldn't really have anything come into your system that you don't want. Anything that you do, Windows Defender will pick up. Windows Defender is okay. The problem that you have is, unless you're running cutting-edge antivirus software. Hey, I use Brave as well. I was just talking about Brave. Brave is great, blocking all your trackers automatically. Excellent browser. Unless you have a really cutting-edge virus server, that's where it was. Unless you have a really cutting-edge virus definitions, you're gonna block 90% of the common stuff that you encounter anyway with Windows Defender. Like they're up to date with their definitions, even if they're only like 3 or 4 months behind, you're fine. Because it takes 3 or 4 months for script kiddies realistically to get that virus technology. I wouldn't know. I've actually never tried Premium Avast. It's been many years since I've run a antivirus software within Windows. I also have a very scorched earth policy though. Like if something is going wrong on my computer, I am the first person to just grab a USB and completely wipe my system. I will wipe my system on a whim. Especially now that I use Linux, I will, something will just be acting funny, or I'll install a weird module and I will straight up just completely reinstall from the ground up. Same with Windows. And so because that's how I am, and most viruses are going to be picked up by Windows Defender, I don't really need antivirus software. It's not going to serve a huge purpose for me. If I get crypto locked or any of those like really scary ones, I just wipe it. Advanced setup and factory reset. Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience with factory resetting Windows because the install process is not super long. I always have a couple of USBs lying around on my desk with Windows or with Arch or with Pop on it. I mentioned it at the very beginning of this stream. I had 3 USBs on my desk, and one had Arch, one had Pop, and one had Windows on it. And I could just literally plug it in, flash the whole system in a matter of minutes, and be up and running again. And then I have additional drives that have data on them saved as a NAS. So if that ever got a virus, that would be kind of annoying to re-get all of that media. But most of our stuff is backed up to the cloud anyway. Like the only things I'm really gonna lose are like weird memes that I've made myself, or like things that I could get again, games, movies. My movie collection downstairs, I can just re-rip all those DVDs. Like it sucks, but it's not the end of the world. Honestly, I'm not sure. I've never tried to factory reset Windows. I'm not sure if it does what a full fresh install does. I don't know how much of a factory reset it is. Those Samsung Evo SSDs are good. This is a crucial one. Not bad. And then my personal is actually an OCZ drive, which is an older company, but they used to make the best SSDs in the world, those OCZ drives. And we actually have, sitting in the computer room over there, an OCZ PCIe Express drive, which is wild. Yeah, cool. So it is a standard SSD. Well, Samsung SSDs are always good. Samsung's NAND flash is top tiers. They're the best manufacturer of NAND flash in the world. And that's like not me saying that. That's every reviewer that knows what NAND flash is going to stand by Samsung NAND flash. So that's SSDs, RAM, everything. Samsung is the best manufacturer for that stuff. So yeah, M.2 drives are still fairly new technology to me. This is the second computer I've ever put together with an M.2 drive in it. I know they've been around for a long time, but I just haven't been building modern computers. Most of what I've been putting together is like more budget orientated stuff or more like older stuff. We have a bunch of computers here that have like quad SLI builds. So I've got one that's got 4 GTX 690s in it, which is super old technology, but like it's still a very respectable machine because it is 4 GTX 690s, and that's running a Xeon processor in it. I have owned, with few exceptions, every game console. I have not pre-ordered the PS5 or the Xbox Series X, only because my computer at the moment is so powerful that I'm playing everything on it. And the only thing that's really going to convince me with these new consoles is hardcore exclusives. And the only exclusive that will really push me into buying a console at the moment is probably Halo. I'm playing quite a bit of Halo on the PC at the moment, and I have always loved Halo, so that will probably push me into it. Miles Morales on the PS5 also looks like it would push me in the correct direction. I played Demon Souls. I did. I played the first Demon Souls. But I've never really like gotten super hard into Demon Souls. Now that we're warmed up, let's run it. Yeah, I like all the Assassin's Creed. I actually have a friend who is doing her major at university in Assassin's Creed. She's a history major, and it's wild to watch the sheer amount of like real lore that gets put into those games is frankly incredible. My favorite Assassin's Creed game is tied between the first one and Black Flag. I really enjoyed Black Flag. It was cool. I liked sea shanties, pirate songs. That shit was cool. Outside of that, the first one was probably the best one. I didn't love the second one. Third one was okay. Yeah, I'm excited for Valhalla though. Valhalla does look really good, but the game that has my heart captured at the moment is definitely Cyberpunk 2077. Although most of what I play is World of Warcraft. That's actually what I stream usually on this channel, is World of Warcraft. But this is kind of a special episode. My girlfriend adores Assassin's Creed. She loves that series. She's not a gamer, more into object games. Did you not try Origins and Odyssey? I didn't play Origins. I have seen a lot of footage out of Odyssey, but I have also not played Odyssey. I missed both of those. Black Flag is the most recent one that I've played. Yeah. Oh wow. I love World of Warcraft. I can't help it. It is like crack for me. I played from the beta of Vanilla all the way through until Cataclysm, and then I broke my addiction but much like a smoker, you are always a smoker. And I saw Battle for Azeroth, and everyone was talking about how much they didn't like it, and I decided that I wanted to play it. And since then, I have played it effectively every day for about 8 months now. Got Shadowlands pre-ordered. I did some long-form content on the pre-patch. My last 3 streams have all been on the new pre-patch. I just really like World of Warcraft. It's a good game. But I will take a break when Cyberpunk comes out, because I have been hyped for Cyberpunk for literally 7 years now. When you say that she's more into object games, what do you mean? Do you mean like
Minecraft?
like mystery games, or like Minecraft, or like Terraria, or do you mean more like that weird Harry Potter Muggles mystery game where you've got to like find all like the missing hat and then like the missing animals and whatever? I played that game on the phone. I don't know what it's called. Kayla played a lot of it on her phone. She was much better at it than I was.
I don't actually know.
It was like it's set in Harry Potter, and you had to like find the objects in the image.
Oh my god, yes.
Do you remember that game?
Yes, we played it on the holidays.
Yeah, we played the shit out. We went on holidays and we spent the entire time playing games on our phones. This is what we always do. We went to Byron Bay and we spent most of that very sick and also playing Pokemon.
Thanks, Hannah.
Yeah, thanks. My sister got us sick. That's her job. This benchmark is impressing me. We're up to scene 23 or 26 now. So the reason we let the benchmark run first before we actually started benching the system is to really warm up this card. You want to see how this card performs after like over a longer period of gaming. So you run something like this at a really high setting for a good amount of time, and then you benchmark it. And we're really seeing some big numbers here. Max FPS so far, 217.5 in heaven, is phenomenal at the settings we're running. Here we go. Oh god. Hey Kayla. 2,688.
Oh, that's insane.
Yeah, that's great. Now let's quit out of heaven again. And we'll quickly run Windows debloater, and I'll show you how that works. So, Windows 10 debloater, Chris Titus Tech. So Chris Titus is a YouTube channel. He does a whole bunch of stuff in Linux, in Windows. He used to be a Windows system admin. But it is now a Linux aficionado. And he has a website, and on his website he links to the GitHub of the actual debloater. So I am not on the stream on this computer, but you want to look for Chris Titus Tech. And he will have the link to the GitHub. The GitHub is Sysnex, capital SYCNEX. That's Sam Yankee Charlie November Echo X-ray. Windows 10 debloater. And you can just straight up download the entire thing off GitHub. No account needed, nothing along those lines. Open up the zip file, open her up, and they have a GUI. And you'll just run that GUI in Windows PowerShell. So we're just gonna extract all of this, extract Arunim, Windows 10 debloater, GUI, run with PowerShell. So you get into your PowerShell, nice and easy, customize your blacklist. It'll open up a list of all the things it's gonna debloat out of your system. Most of this stuff I would just leave it as it is. You want to keep some things. You know, you want to keep the Windows calculator. I probably don't want to keep the Windows store. We'll get that. Ubuntu on Windows we're going to keep because that's cool as hell. Windows subsystem for Linux is rad. We're going to keep all the MIDI files, but we're going to get rid of everything else pretty much. Zune Music, Flipboard, all that stuff. We don't want any of it. So then we install .NET 3.5. Done, it's installed. And then we remove bloatware with customized blacklist. It'll run the script. I wish I had a capture card so that I could run this on that computer so that you guys could see it clearer in stream. And done. Bloatware removed. We're going to disable Cortana, stop Edge PDF, uninstall. Yes. It's having a hard time uninstalling OneDrive. It's trying its best. What should we have added into the build, Brentos? Kitties, why are you fighting? Come here. Hey. Yeah, capture card. Well, the capture card would be helpful if you want to, like, I suppose, capture like gameplay from your PlayStation to your computer. One of the things that I did make sure of though when we were building this computer was that you had room for a capture card. When I was picking this motherboard, I intentionally picked a motherboard that had an extra PCIe express lane for you so that you can run a capture card. So you can just buy like an Elgato PCIe capture card and put it in here. Otherwise, you'd have to buy one of the USB ones, and the USB ones are more expensive than the PCIe ones for no real reason. But that's it, Windows Deep Loader. Now I'm just going to tessellation disabled 8x. We're just going to run the exact same benchmark that we ran on Kayla's computer. And we'll be able to compare from there. We'll actually get comparable codes. Yeah, running your PlayStation into your computer for streaming is pretty cool. And one of the things that does realistically is it frees up compute power. Like, you're not gaming on your PC, you're gaming on the PlayStation. And this is just a stream rig. So you'll get like really nice frame rate, really good quality onto your stream because you're not using the computer for both things at the same time. I like that this has got SSD mounts on the front as well. This case here, these holes that I've run these cables through are actually meant to mount SSDs, like 2.5-inch SSDs like this. I'll grab one off the desk. An OCZ drive. And they're actually meant to mount like that in there. It's really cool. So you have your drives on display in the front, and then your bulk storage goes in the back, hidden out of sight. We're up to scene 7 of 26. I reckon we're going to have a very similar score. Yeah, all up, I thought that this build was under $3,000, but it was actually under $2,000. So it was under 3 originally. All of this was under $2,000. I'm interested to see how much this performs better than your computer, Kayla. Because for $2,000 with a monitoring keyboard, I think all up just the computer was about $1,600. That's for everything that's in here, including the case, which is not that much money, really. It's about the same as what we spent on your computer originally. We could reuse your itty bitty case. The case is your least favorite part. Yeah. I actually don't own a capture card, so it'll be cool to see how it works when you use it. My stream happens entirely on the same computer. Stuff like this is easy though. Like this stuff, I'm literally just running like a DSLR through my computer, and then we're just streaming that. This is a really pretty benchmark. I'm sorry you guys can't see it at all. I want to rotate the computer the other way, but unfortunately this Ethernet cable will not stretch that far. I want to rotate the whole computer around so you can see this lovely front. Not a lot of heat coming out of it now. Graphics card is warming up. I'm interested to see if we thermal throttle. We'll look into the Radeon utility and see if we thermal throttle at any point here, because I don't think we will. If our CPU thermal throttles, that's an easy fix because we can install a different cooler on it. But I don't think it will because it's not overclocked. We can run an AMD overclocking utility on this thing as well, but I probably won't do that tonight. It's getting a little late for me, especially a school night. Max FPS so far, 245.3. And we're almost at the end. Scene 25 or 26. $3,629. That is truly nutty. I like it. We'll save that benchmark. Get out of here. Thank you to all of the people who built Heaven for making such an incredible utility. Let's close this and then we'll go to the AMD Radeon software. I didn't have it open. I'm an idiot. But you can see here, we didn't thermal throttle it. We're still 50 degrees. Perfect. Perfect. Performance grade excellent. Excellent. Cool. Played 23 minutes of Heaven benchmark. I like it. Cool. Well, that's a really good result. You should be really happy with that. I'm really happy with it. All I've got to do now is clean up the cables, put the case back on, and if you want me to install any games for you, I'm happy to do that as well. But that is it. I'm gonna end our stream there, I think. I'm going to have to plug my mouse and keyboard back into my stream computer instead of just using it on the desk. Thank you everyone for coming along and having a watch. We had some new people watch. If you wouldn't mind following, I'm only like 3 followers away from making affiliate level, which is very exciting to me. I don't know what I'll do once I have affiliate. Should do like a stream event or something, right? Yeah, Brent, I'll speak to you tomorrow about getting what we want installed and about getting this computer to you. I'll likely just drop it off to your work. With that, thank you everyone. If you liked it, give me a follow. Thank you so much once again, and I'll see you all soon.